The artist Johannes Vermeer is loved all over the world for his extraordinary sense of light, style, and intimate interiors. His qualities raise him above all other artists, in my opinion. Just looking somehow transports you into the Netherlands of the 17th century. And I'm very happy to say that early next year, the Rijksmuseum is bringing together the largest collection of Vermeer paintings in its history. And I, for one, cannot wait.
Hello, so welcome to the Best in Heritage 2024. My name's Katie Goodwin. I'm Deputy Chief Executive of Art UK, and I'm delighted to be talking with Peter Gorgels of the Rijksmuseum in the Netherlands about the award-winning project Closer to Johannes Vermeer, which won a Webby Award in 2023. So, hi Peter, would you like to introduce yourself?
Hi, Katie. I'm Peter Gorgels from the Rijksmuseum. I'm manager of digital products there, so responsible for all the websites and the apps we make.
That's great. It's nice to meet you. So can you briefly describe the project Closer to Johannes Vermeer?
Yeah, last year we had a very large Vermeer exhibition. It was even the largest in the history of the universe, in the art history, you could say. Where 28 artworks from the 37, I think, from Vermeer in the Rijksmuseum was a very big blockbuster. And we also wanted to make something special on the website for people who could not visit the experience, but also for people to prepare or after the visit to have a little deep dive into the life and work of Johannes Vermeer.
Fantastic. And what was the history of this award-winning project? What were its aims and how did it come into being?
Yeah, we aimed at a large audience, also a little bit a younger audience. So it was quite a roller coaster to make it, you can imagine. We thought about maybe we could do something like a game because we wanted to target also, a younger audience. And also we were inspired by immersive experiences like Fabrique de Lumière you have in Amsterdam and Paris, or you also have some big ones in the UK, for example, and in other countries. So we really wanted people to have like an immersive experience. So first we came up with some ideas to make like a big Vermeer building with all chambers, because he painted a lot of chambers, as you may know. So it was also the idea was he was one room that he painted a lot he used it a lot as a basis, you could say. And so we thought a little bit about an escape game, immersive escape game experience. And we showed that to our directors, and they say, well, why do you all this kind of stupid stuff to say it like this? Because the paintings of Vermeer, they are already immersive in itself. They are already 3D in itself. They are 2D, but you get the feeling it's 3D because that's the master Vermeer who could make that illusion. Then we thought, well, it's all in the Vermeer paintings itself. And then we for example, there was the Milkmaid famous painting. And you have also like the view on Delft. It's also a famous painting. And you see there a little milkmaid already in the same clothes as you see that on the painting. And then the idea came from maybe you can jump from painting to painting and see all the comparisons between the artworks he made and all the similarities and differences. And and that became the concept. So we in a workshop, we put all the artworks from me on a big table, and we went with curators and educators, a lot of other people well, we looked at what are the comparisons, what are the similarities, differences, and then we came up with that, with that user interface with all the paintings and where all the stories are emerged from that, canvas, you could say.
Brilliant. Yeah, that's fantastic. And what do you think were the particular qualities or innovations of the project which impressed the 2023 Webby Awards jury?
Yeah, well, I think I already told a little bit about that. I think there were some key things. Well, it was really like an immersive experience, and you don't have to go 3D to be immersive. So that was really nice. We also won in an immersive category. So we competed with metaverse projects. So that was really interesting. What also was interesting, the gamification elements, because we had some in it. So we had the main story with video, like video stories, but also side stories that were more about the technical things Vermeer did. And it was like a game, so you could always jump to a side story and go back to the main story, and it's like a little bit as an adventure game. So it was really an art experience, but with gamification elements in it, but you're not on the foreground. So we don't overdo it like the escape game idea we had at first. So that was really nice. And we also had like famous voices, storytellers like Stefan Fry and Joy de Lima as a Dutch actor. That is also a part of the success, we think. And so that are a few things that made it special, we think.
Great. And what were the difficulties and positive experience you had during the realization of the project?
Yeah, well, so the interesting thing that we started with some bold, strange ideas. So it was difficult to go to the end result. Because to be honest, for example, there was a gamification element in it for where you could you have to search for certain stories, and only 2 weeks before the launch we got rid of it, because then we did a user test and we thought, well, people don't understand it, it's silly, so we removed it. So. Yeah, what I told about the whole process about the gamification, what is really an interesting story, and then just going back to a very simple 2D canvas, and finding the idea. If you compare different paintings, for example, with pearls, I use a lot of pearls. It's famous for that. Then the animation is beautiful, that it comes out of the canvas, and so that's a little bit about the user experience of the experience of the project.
Great. And you, as you were just saying, you can zoom right into the pictures themselves, and it's up to a resolution of 5 micrometers. So how did you take such high resolution images of the painting so that people can look at the artworks in such minute detail?
Yeah, so we have a whole department that's specializing in this, and what they do, they have like a special installation. Also for the Night Watch, we did it, and this installation that goes from one piece of the painting to another, and then they stitch it together. And there's all kind of mathematics and algorithms are used there. So so it's a very good camera, and you have to do the math very well and stitch it together. And I think a lot of museums, there are some museums that are doing it more and more. Things like that also in X-ray, and so we were lucky to have some paintings of Vermeer from New York also. And so I think we had 8 paintings with that zoom level in the experience. So yeah.
Yeah, it certainly looks seamless when you look at it on the website. So if they have stitched them together at that level, they've done a very, very good job. It's fantastic. Yeah. And has providing such high resolution images and the ability to be able to put them side by side to compare them on the website as part of this project, has that produced any new discoveries about Vermeer's paintings?
Yeah, well, I don't think we did it. There was a lot of research before the exhibition, and we used all that information in the online exhibition and made it available for a large audience. And we also have like a catalog, of course, and other books and articles with really deep dive, and yeah, some are really scientific. But yeah, we aimed at a large audience, so we wrote all the information in a very accessible style, you could say.
Yeah, absolutely. No, it's very accessible. That's fantastic. And you talked a bit earlier about sort of the user testing that you did before the launch, and but what other feedback have you received from users who've taken part in the interactive experience since it launched? Are you evaluating their responses to see how it could be improved and developed in the future?
Yeah, well, to be honest, we also have a lot of projects with some critical feedback, but this one was really like everybody liked it. The curators, the directors, but also the people from outside. So we measured also what the people who visit also the exhibition. They had in the email also a link to this experience, and so they could enjoy it before or afterwards. And they gave an 8.9 on a scale to 10 for this experience. It was even a little bit higher than the exhibition because there it was very busy and crowded. So so our challenge is, well, how can we make this more in a format to reuse, and maybe that's another question.
yeah, exactly. Yeah, having seen the technology that you've obviously put together for this particular experience, I wondered whether this is something that you could reproduce with other artists in your collection. Is that something you're thinking about?
Yeah, and in fact we did it. We also have a large Frans Hals exhibition now, and we did like a small Vermeer experience, but then for Frans Hals. And we see some things, to make like a format of it, to make it reuse it more often. I think we have to do some more technical work, because also the Frans Hals experience was made, again, with all new code. So and what we see is with Vermeer, the comparing of the artworks and the stillness in how the user interface works. That's really Vermeer. And with Frans Hals, we did more like, because he was more like from the wild strokes he used in his painting. So the animations were also more wild and more fun in a way. We thought, we have to do something special again for Frans Hals. So make like a format of it is maybe difficult, but the format in itself, I think, is really fitting for more artists, or even more themes, like politics or whatever, daily life, or but sometimes a subject asks for some differences in the user interface and the whole concept, and that makes it a lot of work to make it special. So it's always a trade-off. Do you make a format with standards that you can reuse very easily, and maybe that gets a little bit boring after some time, or you do something special every time, but then it costs a lot of work and also money. So that's yeah, what we're thinking about the future. Can we make like a format out of it to reuse? Yeah.
Yeah, no, that's interesting. Yeah, thinking about how you use it for different artists that are very different people and different ways that they work. That's a really good way of thinking about it. Yeah, you don't necessarily want to do it exactly the same way because they're coming from a different way of working. Yeah, thanks. That's really interesting. And the other thing that the website does, it gives the users an opportunity to put chosen paintings by Vermeer into their own collection, and they can share that with other people. Do you know how users of the website have been sharing works and why?
Yeah, well, to be honest, there was a feature. It was a little bit hidden. It was on the third place, you could say. We have that main stories, we had side stories. You can search the whole canvas yourself, and then also people could make their own comparison, their own story. And some people used it, not many. So we're looking in the future maybe to reuse this kind of functionality also on our website, and put it more on the foreground maybe. So I don't think there are really new discoveries made by laymen like me, like I am also. But it's really nice to have a feature like this, and it also enhances the engagement.
Exactly. Yeah. It gives people that option, and that's a great thing to do. And I certainly found that option and thought that was a really nice thing to do, and to be able to share with other people if people wanted to do that. So I think that is definitely a good thing to have in there.
Yeah.
Well, thank you, Peter. It's been great to speak to you today. And thank you very much for sharing your experiences of putting this award-winning project together. So thanks very much.
Yeah, thank you very much.